Okay, so I'm just going to continue with the well, I was going to say the curtain walls. We're going to use the curtain wall tool in Revit. Really, it's the windows in this building, but of course we're using the curtain wall tool for that. And so here you can see I've got this arrangement which is roughly right, but definitely needs a bit of refinement. So I'll sort of show you firstly how you can change these even after you put the mullions on. And so if you hover where you know there is a grid line, but don't click anywhere, then you can press Tab and it will cycle through all of the things at that point. So I've pressed Tab 3 times and now you can see it is letting me know there's a curtain grid there. Might be a bit hard to see on the projector there, but you can see down the bottom left corner it says curtain wall grids, and I can click then to select it. And so I can see over here now that I've selected my curtain wall grid, and to move it I can either drag it or type in a measurement over here in that dimension. So maybe I'll try making that 900. Okay, so we've definitely got a fairly narrow band at the top there. Maybe it might even be less. So maybe even 800. So I've clicked accidentally on the mullion. That's okay. I can just again hover over where I think that grid line is, and then press Tab until it highlights it. Okay, so just to avoid going back and forth, I'm just going to put that photo up on the side. Alright, so this mullion here needs to come across as well, so again just hovering on that grid, pressing Tab until I select it, and then I can again type in a different dimension. So I'm going to make that 1,000. And then the one on the bottom, same thing. So I think that's maybe 700, maybe a little bit. No, that's too much. 1,000. Okay, it's close. Probably needs a bit more refining, but I'll leave it like that for now, and I'll let you have a go at refining it. I better show you how to delete a grid line. So I think I went too far here. Didn't realise this window stops, I'm pretty sure, at that glazing bar or the sill there. So it just branches underneath. So I want to remove that grid line. And so to do that, again, Tab first to select the grid line. And then you'll see you get an option up the top to add remove segments whenever you select a grid line, and then you can simply click on the part you want to take away. Now because I've put a mullion onto that segment, it's giving me a warning and telling me that basically if I delete that grid, the mullion can't exist anymore. When that's okay, I can just choose the option there to delete elements. So keep an eye out for this warning box. You'll see it come up quite a lot with the OK button grayed out, but always have a look at the option that you have to the left, because it's usually going to be a good option, and in this case it's exactly what I want. I want to delete the mullion when I remove that part of the grid line. Oh yeah, so the other thing I want to show you is how to make those mullions essentially less chunky. So at the moment they're 150 by 50. And so I'll show you another way to select parts of a curtain wall as well. So if you make a window, you can see there I've got my view orbiting so that I'm not going to get too much of the curtain wall on the level below. And now I can make a window left to right. So remember, when you select left to right as opposed to right to left, when you go right to left, it selects everything inside the window and everything it's touching, so it's selecting a lot more than what I want. But if you go left to right instead, it'll only select the things inside your window. So essentially there, I've selected the curtain wall and also this wall, I'm not worried about that. But I've also selected all of the different parts of my curtain wall. And when you select different objects, different kinds of objects, you'll get this filter button. And you might have seen that already when you select things with Windows. And so notice how now it's listing all the different parts of my curtain wall. I just want the mullions, so I'm going to turn off everything except the curtain wall mullions. Click OK. And now you can see over here the type of mullion it is. Oh, filter. So, yeah, up the top there, that button looks like a funnel. So only curtain wall mullions should be ticked. Clear everything else if there's anything else on the list. Okay, so I want to make this mullion essentially thinner, but also less deep. Okay, so by going to Edit Type, then duplicate, and give a new size. Does it say 50 by 150?
No, it's not highlighted.
So you need to make sure you've got the mullion. You don't have the mullion selected, that means.
Yeah, I do. I have the whole window frame.
Yeah, then you've got to go to Filter.
Yeah, I do.
And you've turned off.
Turned off everything except for the motion, and I still have.
Just give me a look. That's it. Yeah, no, go back to Filter.
Yeah.
Yep, and okay, just go to Check None.
Where's that?
Okay, so you've got different kinds of mullions, that's all. So you might have chosen a different mullion or something. But okay, then yeah, just try going to that list there, and then oh, yeah, that's all right. So yeah, I think you've got a mullion from another level, and so just try selecting again. So just click into empty space, and then just do a new window. Just make sure it's a bit closer. So so just do it from there. Just click and drag. Yep. Yep, that's it. Let go there. Go to Filter now, and then see how many mullions come up. Yeah. So just go to Check None, and then and then tick mullions. Yep, and then click OK. And it's doing the same thing. Okay, so I'll have a look at that. There must be a different type of mullion in there somewhere. But yeah, so just try going to Edit Type now, and then see. Yeah, so they must be type driven, I think. So you'll need to have a look at your wall properties. It's that good curtain wall. Yeah, I'll have a look at that in a sec. Yeah, so it's to do with the wall. So when the mullions are made by the wall, so essentially you can have automatically generated mullions. Then you can't manually edit them. Actually, so just try and see if you get the pin option. So up on the modify panel. Yeah, unpin up here.
That one?
Yep. Yep, there we go. That's fixed it.
Oh,
Yeah, yep, so that's it. So see if you've got that one. Yep.
Is that higher?
So,
It won't be like that.
yeah. Yep. So it's in your modify panel. It's the button that looks like a little, not a safety pin, a clipboard pin. Yep. Okay, so once that's working, Edit Type and duplicate. And then, okay, so we'll make them narrower. So we'll make them 30 wide instead of 50. 30 by, still need a bit of depth, but I'm going to try for 60. Click OK, and then the thickness there, it's probably going to be 150, so you can change that to 60. And then the width either side needs to be 15. So, 15 instead of 25.
What time you finished today?
5.
Yeah. Just quickly, you're teaching construction to next semester.
Yeah.
And Angela sent us the assessment briefing.
Oh, yeah.
If it's okay with you, we'll
Yep.
just go with the assignment brief that is set up time before.
Yeah, I did that last semester anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'll just reply for everything.
Yeah.
Is okay.
Sure.
Yeah,
No problem. Yeah, cheers. Well, thank you. Okay, so make sure you've got those sizes in there, and then when you click OK, you'll see them change, and it'll look much better. But just want to show you there might be a little problem. If we look on the floor plan, you'll see the glass is almost sticking out of that frame. In fact, it is sticking out. It's just being held in by the edge of it, most likely. Probably just if it's like mine. So it's a bit hard if you have thin lines turned off. Then you'll see that with the line weight, and that's good. I normally have thin lines turned off actually, but it's fine to turn thin lines on while you're working just to see without the line weight. So the glass there needs to come back. Essentially, the glass was set up for that thicker frame. So you've got to select the panel, and it's good practice getting used to selecting things like glass or panels in a curtain wall. So I'll do it back in the 3D view. I just wanted to show you in the other view. So you can see there the glass again sticking out, and you might be able to select the glass just by going onto the edge, but if it doesn't come up for you, press tab until it highlights just one panel. You don't need to select them all, you only need to select one. So I'll show you again, moving the cursor onto the edge but not clicking anywhere, and then tab. So I had to press it 3 times, then click, and it selects the glass. Yep, just one glass panel. No, it should be a line going around the edge of the panel, and it'll tell you it's system panel glazed is the name that'll come up. So just if you keep an eye on the bottom left corner, sometimes it's hard to see on the screen, but you'll definitely see down in the bottom left. See how mine says curtain panel, system panel glazed R0 down in the bottom left. So basically the technique is to move your cursor onto that edge and then just look at that bottom left corner until you see the thing you want, and then click. And it'll highlight it. Yeah, so you just got to keep your cursor where it is. No, don't click anywhere. So click into an empty space just so there's nothing selected. Just makes it a bit easier. And then move your cursor where you want it to select something. And then before you click anywhere, tab to get the different options. Only once you see the right option. Yeah. So are you on the edge of a panel? So yeah, and then press tab, and then just don't hold it down, just press it repeatedly until you see it say down in the bottom left corner the thing you want, system panel glazed. If it's just a single grid, just select it and then press delete on the keyboard. So tab there, so just use tab first. Yep, there, click, yep, that's it, and then delete. There we go, that's it. Okay, so okay, so you can go to edit type now to change the panel. Now, this is actually really good practice for what we're going to do next, looking at families. Because here, I'm going to get you to not duplicate it. Right? So because if we duplicate it, we're going to make a new type of glass. But I'm actually going to make this change to all of the glass. So I'm not going to duplicate on purpose so that every piece of glass we make in the future is going to follow this setup. So remember we made the mullion frame 60mm deep, and so before it was 150mm deep. Right, so it's exactly, that's right. So it's the offset, not the thickness, so the offset. Now, yeah, that's right. So, actually, let's just think about this. It's going to be the 150, 60. Yeah, we'll do 15. That'll be right. Okay, so it's okay, and it's still slightly towards the outside. In fact, we'll bring it back further. So back to edit type, and we'll make that 5 for the offset. So there, that's now still slightly closer to the outside than to the inside, but that's good. That's pretty close to the way it would be constructed.
Should we repeat that on all panels?
No, so that's the point. It's not duplicated, so all of them are going to change.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's really why you have that option, because you don't always want to duplicate.
Yeah.
But at first, you just do it for most things just to get used to it. So I'll let you do the other curtain walls, but I'll just give you some pointers to put the other walls in. Right, so you've got the walls here in between the curtain walls there, in between these bedrooms. And so for those, I'm just going to use the generic 100mm wall to get started. And it doesn't really matter which location line option you use here. I'll use finish face interior. It really doesn't matter though. I'm just going to trace along the edge there, basing it on my plan, and draw it up to the edge of my floor. Okay, but then I'm going to show you one of these almost hidden options that you have in Revit. Because, well, you've seen already, when you draw a wall normally, Revit knows automatically to join it to any other wall. So here you can see these walls automatically have joined together. And it's even better when you join them at a corner, as we've done here. Again, it knows automatically to join those and wrapping around. You almost don't notice it at first. But imagine if you were drawing that in AutoCAD, you'd have to manually go and fillet those lines together and do all that work to get the wall join. So Revit does that automatically, but here we don't want it to do that, because if it joins the walls automatically, we're going to have a problem when the curtain wall goes in there. So you've got this, like I said, almost hidden option. When you select any wall, so I'll get you to select that wall, you'll see a grip at the end. That's what you use to drag the end of the wall. And if you right click on that grip, so it's the little solid circle there, there's an option to disallow join. So that's going to prevent this wall from joining automatically to the curtain wall I'm about to draw coming across there. And that's it. So now I'll go and draw a 6mm thick glazing curtain walling. Just tracing by eye. We'll line it up with the other one later, I think. So yeah, just for now. From the centre line of that other wall could be good. But if you're going to draw it right to left like I have, make sure you press space so the glass goes up instead of down. because the glass should always go closer to the outside than the inside. So over to here. And I'll do another one. Okay, so just like before, the walls need to be extended using attach. I can select. You want them to be in line? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So here with attached top base, I'll just attach them to the roof. I'll let you work out the grid patterns on those. Oh, the plane. Yeah. The side of the wall we'll use just for downstairs, and that's actually yeah. So so the other thing I was going to just make a start on, and then I'll do windows in the next video. So you could have a go at doing the other level 1 walls. Now, maybe that is correct. Maybe this was open. I'm not sure. Is that still the way it is with this totally open? Yeah, right. It's interesting. Okay. Well, that's why they're saying it's hard to live in. So the right side of the house is not quite as open. But oh yeah, you're right. Here we go. You can see it there. Okay. I've seen plenty of modern houses with similar layouts, and I know families who've grown up in houses just like that, where the bedrooms are pretty much all open. Even the master bedroom in one place I know that is sort of a showpiece architectural home. It's on the cover of a lot of the books on Australian architecture, and like I said, I know the families who've lived in those and 2 or 3 generations grown up in them, so it does work, even though people complain about it if they're not used to it. Okay, so anyhow, you can work that out as you draw your walls in, and that should make it easier, in fact, if it's open plan. So you've got a wall there wrapping around, and so just use the generic walls to lay it out. We'll put the doors in afterwards, and so the main tip I can give you there is that you just want to ignore the openings. So in other words, ignore the doors and windows. Here there aren't too many windows to worry about, but ignore the doors, definitely. And remember, with the internal walls, if they're going to the wrong side, space to flip them, because you usually want to draw them in a certain direction, whether they face the way you want to at first or not. And so here you can see there's a door there, but like I was saying, just draw over the... Yeah? Up to you. I'd be using either finished face interior or finished face exterior. I suppose finished face interior might be the easiest. But like I was saying, you'll need to flip them as you go. And so here, I want to draw from this corner and come down, but notice the wall's going onto the right side. But if I press space, then I can flip it. So it's going the wrong way, but space is going to flip it. And so the most important thing here, see there's a door there, so it's really important that you don't stop the wall here. Even though you can't see a door, you need to take the wall down so that you've got something to place the door into. And also remember here, the wall there goes over the floor, so the wall there should go below your floor. Okay, so the last thing I'll tell you there is the balcony. And so here you have a balustrade or a balcony wall that really is more like a wall than a typical balustrade. And so for that, you can just use the same wall at first, generic 100mm. I'm going to go through materials and show you how to change that into another wall later. But you can set the height there to unconnected. So instead of setting it to the roof level, if you make it unconnected, then you can just type in 1000 for the height and draw along that edge. Like I was saying, don't forget to press space if you need to flip the wall. And then the same here. So remember, this wall changes height. From this point onwards it's full height, but up to here it's low height. So again, I'll draw with that unconnected height set to 1000 and make sure it's a separate wall. So very, very last thing I'll show you there is that if you go into a 3D view, now it might be getting a bit difficult to see we'll see those interior walls to make the changes to give them the height we want. So I'll just show you a couple of ways you can set these views up, and you can do this anytime, so you don't need to have all the walls done to do this next step. I'm going to duplicate the view. So by right clicking on that 3D in brackets, duplicate view and duplicate. And I'll give my new view a name just by right clicking and going to rename. And I'll call it 3D SB for section box. I think I've shown you I'm sure I've shown you section boxes before. So in your view properties, you can just scroll down to find section box, turn on the tick box there, and then select that box that comes up and use that to take away the things you don't want to see. So that should make it easier to work on the interior there. Notice I'm not hiding the roof. I'd be tempted to, but before I hide it, I need to see it so that I can attach those walls to it. Okay, so now I should be able to get in and see those walls and attach to the roof. Okay, so which one? No, that's just, that stays 1000 high. Yeah, yeah. Oh, section box. So in your view properties, so duplicate your view first.
Oh yeah.
And then, oh good, yeah, and then just scroll down in the properties above, and you'll find it there. So above that, you've got your view properties. Right above that, about next panel up. Yep, there, yep, that's it. So scroll down a little bit there. I think I can actually see it just at the bottom there. It is section box. You can see it on that. You're going past it. So just on the left, you'll see section box.
Oh yeah.
Yep, just tick that box, and then you'll get a box come up in your view. Press apply if it doesn't come up straight away, and then then you can select that to get the arrows. So when you make the wall, set the height to unconnected instead of setting it to a level. So just press escape once. Well, they can do it before you draw the wall. So where it says height, click on the wall button, and then you've got height above that on the green bar at the top of your screen. That's it. And then to the left, you've got the level. Yeah, leave it on height, and then next to that, you've got the level. So choose there, and you can set it to unconnected, and then type in 1000. Yeah, sure. Okay, so like I was saying, I'll give you some time to work on the walls, and then we can have a look at door and window types.